Producer Julie from England, who takes LDN for fibromyalgia and lupus. Thank you for joining me, Julie.
That's okay, Linda. It's a pleasure.
Could you tell us when you first started to feel unwell?
It was about 1999 when I look back, and it was just, I used to get a swelling in my left foot. I probably had it about 3 times, and then it would just go away. It was when I was really tired, and then it would go away when I slept, and you forget about it. You know, you just forget about it and think, oh, I don't know, maybe you'd overdone it or something. But then it went on till about 2006. I got pneumonia, and I was hospitalised for 8 days. They couldn't find why. It wasn't bacterial. And in the end, I just had to heal on my own. And then after that, I had a lot of pain, and it took me a long time to get over it. And then they said that I had fibromyalgia. And that went, you know, I was diagnosed 2007, 2008 with fibromyalgia. And then I just used to have a flare. If I was ill, if I had a cold, if I had an upset stomach, just as that was passing, I would be then laid completely bedridden, total pain, complete from head to toe. Even my earlobes used to hurt, and couldn't move my head for about 4 or 5 days after being ill, after having a cold, after having an upset stomach. And still they said it was fibromyalgia. And that went on actually until 2012, when by that time I was losing weight. I was very, very nearly lost my job, very nearly. Just clung onto it by the tips of my fingers. I had just gone part-time. They made me go part-time because of fibromyalgia. But I was still just clinging to it. And at the end of, and then I started getting really bad mouth ulcers. And by the end of 2012, just at the beginning of 2013, I finally got diagnosed with lupus along with the fibromyalgia.
And before you discovered that LDN, what would you say an average day was like for you?
I never knew what a day was going to be like. It was, yeah, I might have a good day, but mostly it would be spent on the sofa, not knowing what was wrong. Not, you know, just in my head, I wanted to do so much, but I just could not physically do it. I just could not do it. In a flare, during a flare, you know, all bets were off. But when I was not in a flare, I would still get pain, just everywhere. Even driving was an effort. Just, you know, I'd get ready to go out, and then I'd realise that I'd get to the car and then realise actually I've left something upstairs, and I have to go back in the house, and that would be such an effort. Every day was a struggle. Good days and bad days were struggles. I had some better days where I got a bit more done, but my quality of life wasn't very good at all. And like I said, you know, I was on the verge of losing my job.
So at that time, if you had to score your quality of life on a score of 1 to 10, and 10 being the best, what would it have been?
4, I suppose. 3, 4. I still had hope that it would pass.
Yes.
Somehow. I still had hope. But, yeah, I was very, very down. And it wasn't depression. I know it wasn't depression because I don't think that I really suffer with depression. I know that depression can be linked with lupus. But for me, it was because of my situation, because just couldn't shake it off. I just couldn't shake it off. And, you know, I'd go to sleep and think, I'll just have a little sleep and I'll be a bit better when I wake up. But I never was. The fatigue was always there. Pains in, and they'd be so random, you know. One day you just wouldn't be able to lift your arm, or they're just so random, and I never knew what any day was. You know, I could never plan anything. It depended on how I am, you know. I just couldn't make plans, really, and had to cancel a lot of things, and ended up isolating, really, and just not going out, because that was my quality of life, you know. It just wasn't letting people down, and then feeling bad because of that would get you down, but I couldn't help it. I just could not help it. I could not do very much at all.
Yes. Okay, so how did you hear about LDN?
I first heard about it on the internet, actually on the Health Unlock site, the Lupus Health Unlock site, which I joined, and I saw Dr. Chris Steele's video or DVD on YouTube, and I watched that, and I thought, well, I've got to investigate this. So then I just really started investigating, and yeah, I went for it.
And when you first started, did you notice any introductory side effects?
I would say, and I was warned this would happen, because when I first started it, I was still on steroids.
Right.
I was on steroids for the lupus, because other medication that I'd been put on, Naltrexone for one, hadn't agreed with me, so I'd had to come off of that. And I was on steroids, 10 milligrams a day. So I continued to take the steroid and started LDN very low. And initially, I'd say maybe 3 days, maybe 4 days, I was warned this would happen by my prescribing doctor. The pain got a bit worse, but I persevered, and then just very, very gradually began reducing steroid, letting it stabilise, and up in the LDN. But it was a gradual process, and I would say about the second week of taking the LDN, I got a cold. Normally, if the cold would be subsiding, I would be bedridden with pain, really, really raked with pain everywhere. But I managed to carry on going to work, which for me was fantastic. It was almost like a normal person having a cold. I managed to work through it. I was tired, and, you know, I had to rest when I got in from work, but it was great to be able to not go into a flare. I didn't go into a flare, and that was the LDN working. I know it was.
So how long?
Since 2008, any little cold, just knocked me for 6.
So how long have you been on LDN now?
I started LDN, and I know the date. It's my mum's birthday on 11th of March 2014.
Okay.
And I haven't had a day sick since.
That's amazing. So, and you haven't been on it that long. I mean, we're now June.
Yeah.
So like 3 months?
And I'm on it up. Yeah, exactly. And I'm now steroid free too, about the past 4 or 5 weeks. Steroid free. I'm just on LDN now, and high blood pressure tablets. I still take those. But other than that, occasionally, if I do still get pain, but I can cope with it. It doesn't wear me down. It's all manageable. If I get a bit of bad pain, I will take ibuprofen or paracetamol. But that's it. That's the most, touch wood, that's all I'm taking now.
Okay. And on the score of 1 to 10, for the quality of life, 10 being the best, what would it be now?
It's an 8 or a 9. I've still got lupus.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's early days. I'm not cured, but I am living again. Previously, I was not living, I was just existing. And I can plan. I can plan things. Last week I went on a union conference for 5 days, managed to do all that. Previously I couldn't have said, yes, I'll go somewhere with work for 5 days, because I wouldn't have known how I was going to be each day. So yeah, I am living now, and it's great. I just really, really want to tell everyone, give it a try. You've got absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Thank you very much for sharing your wonderful experience with us. It's really amazing, very inspiring. Thank you.